Hi guys, so today was my Module 2 CPC. I did my practical last week. I went in all honesty feeling quite confident about it. I passed, which is good. At the end of the day, a pass is a pass. One thing I'll point out, some of you probably already know unless you haven't started yet, or you'll probably know anyway, but before signalling, before you signal, you check both your mirrors, which I did, in all honesty, but mainly when I was signalling left, I would just take a glance to my right slightly like that, and then obviously you kind of look across to your left. The instructor gave me 4 minors, which is at his discretion. He could have given me a major over that, in all honesty, for not checking my right mirror when I signalled left. I was in fact checking my right mirror. It was one of the big points the instructors, while I was training, pointed out to do. But I think because I were kind of just glancing kind of thing like that, even though I could see, to the instructor who was kind of sat over there, I weren't looking. So yeah, just make a point of kind of physically turning your head to check the mirrors. But yeah, other than that, the test lasted, did it last? Just over an hour, I think the test lasted. Before that I did my reverse parking. I started off with my reverse parking, in all honesty, which was fine. Passed no problems. There's tricks on how to do it, in all honesty. It looks a bit daunting to start off with. But yeah, you pull up as close to the front left cone as you can, and literally as soon as you start moving, while keeping your observations, go straight into a left lock, just watching your mirrors to make sure your wheel don't cross the line. And as soon as you see 4 or 5 cones, you can start to straighten up and you can bring it back round. And you have to stop in a hash marking, which is, I don't know, 20 inches wide. I use a reflector on the side of a lorry, and when you position it in a certain place, that's where you've got to stop. So yeah, that was fine. And he asked a few questions, again, no problem. So yeah, that was a pass. So I would say just make sure you make a point of checking your mirrors. I don't know if it was just my instructor, or I don't know, he probably weren't. To him, in all honesty, he probably looked like I weren't checking. So yeah, just make a point of checking your mirrors. With regards to the CPC Module 2, I was stressing about this one, to be honest, because I kind of did my practical 3 days ago. Booked a cancellation for my Module 2 CPC case studies on the same day. It took a day to get the DVD I ordered for the case studies to study, and I put it on, and honestly I was a bit mind blown to start off with. The driving time regulations just seems like a complete minefield, honestly. But if you can get a DVD and just go through it all, it'll help you out. There'll be questions that you don't understand. For example, if you're double manned, what amount of brake would you need in a certain hour period? So for example, would you need a minimum of daily, would you need a minimum of 9 hours in a 24-hour period, which I would have thought it was, but no, if you're double manned, it's actually 9 hours in a 30-hour period. Just read the questions. I mean, you'll be reading some questions and you'll think, well, all of those answers are right, but it'll ask you what is the best answer. So just choose the one which mostly stands out. But yeah, I printed off the internet just explanation to the working time directive, and made a couple of notes here or there. But that pretty much, when I was kind of in bed on the night, just quickly read through that, which helped, to be fair, because the first 6 or 7 questions was about that really. I got 44 out of 50. Couple of questions I didn't have a clue, so I just guessed. So I don't know. It doesn't tell you what you which questions you fail on. You get incorrect, but yeah, definitely get a DVD and spend, a couple of hours a night. Don't overdo it. Would spend a couple of hours overnight going through the practice questions. Get up on your working time directive. And yeah, you should be fine. I mean, a lot of it is general knowledge, and a lot of it you would have done in your theory, so it might make sense to do the odd mock theory test again, I suppose. Could help. But yeah, it's not too bad. The main thing for me, other people might be different. It was a working time directive. It just seems, especially someone who hasn't driven before. My old man is a driver, and he's helped me out a little bit, explaining things. But even a lot of the questions he didn't know, because it's that much of a minefield. Such as going on ferries and the laws to when you were, you're travelling on a ferry. What brakes can you have? Can you split your brakes? Which you can have 2 30-minute breaks, and you've got to have a minimum of 11 hours. It is quite a minefield, so just look into it as much as you can, but as long as you do your revision, it should be fine. I mean, the first 6 or 7 questions for me were the hardest, and then afterwards it was general mock, your general theory questions. So next stage for me is to do my Mod 4 practical, which involves a couple of hours in a classroom for 2 days, and then the day after that I've got my practical, which is again at a test centre. I think it lasts about 30 minutes. You don't drive or anything like that. They just ask you questions relating to the load and the vehicle, fuel saving techniques. I don't know how it's going to go, but I would have thought the hardest part out the way, but you never know. I was in fact looking forward to not having to go back to the test centre. And I found out today you've got to go back to the test centre. But yeah, so once that's done, I'm complete. Hopefully I'll pass. If I don't, I'll get it rebooked. But we shall see how it goes, and yeah, I'll keep you informed once that's done. Just a note, I've been putting kind of the feelers out to various companies, booking not booking, sorry, I had a bit of a mind blunt then. Putting feelers out to various companies, just saying I'm, looking for work. I've got no experience. I've iterated as well. I'm not just looking to get a bit of experience and move on. I would, and honestly, I would like to just go to somewhere and work for someone, that you can have a long-term career with, and would ideally look after his drivers. But yeah, class 2s, which is what I've done, is a bit, from what I've heard and what I've told, you kind of get the less desirable work, as you would with being on an Arctic. Well, Arctic's the next step for me once I've got a bit of experience, but it's not cheap. It's not, if you've got to pay for it yourself and a company's not putting you forward like I did, the cost can add up. But I will do another up-to-date video explaining the costs, but it isn't cheap. It isn't cheap at all. and it, you know, unless you put a bit of time in, it's not easy either. The theory wise, and the CPC wise, you know. Anyway, so yeah, next step for me is my mod 4 practical, and then I shall upload a video when that's eventually done. And then all my cards get sent away. Once cards are sent away, you get your CPC cards. I've got to send off for my digicard, which you can do. I believe you can do it anyway. I've read that some people have waited a while for their CPC, for their digicards to come back through. So I should be doing that this week, even though it's another 3 weeks until my mod 4. But you know, once that's back, you know, it's better to have it. I think that's £32 to get that. Yeah, so as I say, next step mod 4, I'll keep you guys informed. Any questions, let me know.